Hi! Once again, this is yours truly, Clarissa talaga. And it's a heads up. This is a heads up episode. Um, I want to try on to you the questions that I'm going to ask. Does it pay to not do something about the ambiguity or about the jumble of words that I am mouthing that are my talking points, because my talking points, actually, they are the talking points and the legal position of talaga information and business consultancy. Hi, this is yours truly, Clarissa talaga, and it's another work day of the week. We're still in February, and I welcome you to the new series that we have. This is very crucial, and you cannot stop me from sharing with you the reasons why I say that the work that I'm doing right now is critical for the next months of 2021, as we all strive to recover from the effect of the lockdowns, the COVID-19 taking us all by surprise, a perfect storm, as they say. And as we try to grapple with solutions to ending this pandemic, for our part, this is the specific things that we will be doing, and I hope that the calendar date that I will be sharing would be received with enthusiasm, hope, and equal action. From what are you doing nowadays, Clarissa, to what are you doing, Clarissa? Really, what are you doing? How have you been passing your days? Do you ever get out? Do you ever work? Or do you ever stop to work? JM told me about her plans to have a trade, to be a trader. Lee also shared with me her plans, as well as May and Paul. So each of them have plans that as a parent, I need to harmonize, diba? And that to the best of my ability, I hope that the assistance that I can give them will manifest how equally I love them, and that I equally will do everything to show my support, to demonstrate my love. So we all needed that feeling that um, we are loved the same way that others have been known to enjoy the love of someone, like being preferred. Their prayers are answered, it seems. Their prayers are answered in a way that's fast and without much trouble, and in comparison ours would be like, like going through the eye of the needle. So first off, it's not good to compare, but deep inside, I know that we have that, the tendency in the most private moment that we have in our private thoughts. We want to, love pa ako ni Mama? Bakit palaging sinasabi ng binabagay ni Mama si Ate JM? We would say that, like, oh, bakit lagi na lamang kinakampihan ng isang magulang ang isang anak, di ba? Those things. And sometimes, depende sa pangangailangan. So, from one parent to another or to a single person, you'd experience, you know what I'm going to talk about. When you have your own moment of giving conscious thoughts to your actions as they affect your children, each of them. There's no mistake that yours truly, Clarice talaga, is the daughter of her parents. Because my mother had outlived my father, and because I was the one who would provide her with listening ears and who became her field officer in a manner of speaking. I was the one she got to endorse to the different offices here in Lucena City. So in effect, her voice, her decision, her will had made up my legal personality coming out from ashes of wrong identification. So it's been formalized in RTC, MTC, Fiscal's Office, Agrarian Office, while my mother was still alive and could provide categorical answers as best as her clarity could be summoned. My qualification and resume were duly validated. In reference to the general questions I get, like what are you doing, Clarissa? Oh, you mean the work in terms of 12-hour work day, counting the weekends and holidays? It is so that later on, JMV and May can answer truthfully how any question about our private and public lives could have been answered here and now because of open venues, courtesy of their mother and courtesy of their grandmother. These venues are open for oppositors, challenges, and for mandated mediation, so there can be comparison of documents for whatever legal purpose it may serve. We have the invitations and the introductions and the submissions, transmittal of official papers. The confused recipients of my self-introduction are duly preserved along with the circumstances, minutes of our exchanges. The parting of ways have been for the most part amicable, congenial, and at certain times friendly, with that kind of friendship, that warmth that will pave the way for a closer working relationships in for future endeavors.
Such has been the response that necessitates actual details. Take, for instance, pag-ibig funds or the Home Mutual Development Fund or HDMF. By the way, my father had worked here in this office as one of the pioneers here in Lucena City.
More popularly known as Pag-ibig Fund. By the way, Pag-ibig is the Filipino language for love. Remember our high school slam book?
What is love? Define love. Who is your love? Perhaps love, perhaps not. He loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not.
As it turns out, you and I are still in the age bracket where the answers to those questions still matter to our peace of mind. Not asking questions, on the other hand, it's like repressing our feelings. A repressed feeling is not good for our state of happiness, for our mental health. In high school, secrets lang ang sagot dyan, right? Pero kahit secret, di ba hindi yan nangyayari? Aminin, palaging may madaldal na hindi marunong magtago ng secrets. Let's try to answer the same questions in the context that we have now. For a foreigner, the question, what is love? How does one answer that? Ano ang pag-ibig? Mutually saved up funds where one can get help if needed, like a source of finance assistance that with friendly terms like interest, which the private sector cannot hope to match. It's almost subsidized because it's a government agency. Pag-ibig funds, their aspirations are toward being some sort of solutions, all-time solution to problems, everyday problems, ordinary problems that we human beings have in common with each other. Next question. Who is your love? Who is your love? Obviously, the question is asking about a person's identity. And for those brave souls who ask, thou shalt receive. Ask and you shall receive. The answer should be given. Yes, it will be given, and so should the identity of the other person now. That we are in a very, very cheesy trail. The only way it can be a mutual relationship is if there are two persons at least, right? If it is not mutual, then it is like being in a relationship with one's self. Where then is the mutuality of funds in a mutual development fund? If it is not witnessed like with ORs, if it has not been voluntary, and if it has not been fought for like you and me against the world kind of feeling as a result of wrong person and wrong relationship and wrong agreements, oh my. In my book, that's a real obstacle to real love. Real love means we should not be ashamed of the actual records, like when was it first applied for and what happened since then, the loans, did it get paid, how long did it take one to pay it or to let go of a chattel mortgage, a property under chattel mortgage. And if it is the membership ID of this Clarissa talaga that got to be paid in the regional office of HTMF, we should really come up with the answer of who, the person's identity. it is not witnessed, like with ORs, if it has not been voluntary, and if it has not been fought for, like you and me against the world kind of feeling as a result of wrong. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. Lord, have your way in me. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake, Lord, have your way in me. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. Lord, have your way in me. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake, Lord, have your way in me. Here in the Philippines, sometimes when a person is bragging about something, or that he or she had made an announcement that didn't come true, so it had become quite degrading thing when you say, "Hay nako, nagpa-press release, lahat naman press release." So ibig sabihin ba, pag nagpa-press release, ano lang siya, it's only good for the papers, on the announcements, parang ano lang siya, 50-50 chances na may matuloy or hindi, di ba? So, ayoko naman na magkaroon ng press release na hindi naman pala talaga walang bahid ng katotohanan. So, yun yung iniiwasan ko. That's why I am doing very diligent work. As in, no weekend, up to 12 hours of work sometimes para lamang matuloy. This is my desire to honor you, Lord, with all my heart. I worship you, oh Lord, there's no one but you. All I have within me, I give you praise. All that I adore is in you. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. Ito ang nais ko, papurihan ka, Lord, buong puso ko, sinasamba kita, Lord. Ito ang nais ko, papurihan ka, Lord, buong puso ko, sumasamba. Lahat ng nasa akin, inaawitan ka. Lahat ng minamahal ko, nasa iyo. Hi, today is the 15th of February 2021. Monday, it's the beginning of the week, a day after Valentine's Day. For those of us who have been single for so long, it's not the usual February, but it's also the usual February 14th, the usual Valentine's. What I'm excited about is the work that I'm doing that will allow for press conference, for a sharing of information that we can all take to the bank. Meaning, not the literal take to the bank, but it's so official and there can be no other interpretation to the wordings and to the people who will be sharing these information. So before this becomes a reality that will benefit not only my family and I, but also for different communities, from one community to another, the groundwork must continue, pandemic or not, or I should say, because it's pandemic, we should be more motivated to pursue this. And as for the affairs of the heart, given that it's a day after the Valentine's Day, this is the reason why why I'm always excited to get up in the morning to begin the day. Every